Joining us now is Republican Congressman Byron of Florida, who we should note serves on the House Oversight and Reform Committees. Good morning, Congressman. Thank you for being here. Obviously, we've been talking about this indictment for Trump today. We're going to see him at the building behind me in just a matter of hours from now. Do you think the indictment helps or hurts him politically?
Well, look, it absolutely is going to help him in the Republican primary. You know, even as we speak, Republican voters are rallying around President Trump simply because what they view is an indictment that makes no sense at all, an indictment that is pure politics, a political persecution of a political enemy, something that the American people, frankly, despise and our country simply not for.
And what about with the general election? You're arguing it helps him in the Republican primary. We've seen how the potential 2024 rivals for Trump for that GOP nomination have responded. But what about a general election? Because CNN polling has shown that there are voters who approve of this indictment.
Well, two things. One, I saw the report about your polling. I would say first is that people are just responding to it based upon, how you structure the poll, whatever. Not going to comment. But I think that as the facts of this thing start to really roll out, people are going to be against this. Look, you can be against Donald Trump. You could be for Donald Trump. Those things don't matter. What we don't do is turn the criminal justice system against a political opponent. I think you compare this mockery of the criminal justice system with the fact that Joe Biden has been an absolute terrible president, won't negotiate on debt ceiling, has left the southern border completely wide open. Our economy is a mess. Our adversaries across the globe are on the move. You put all those things together, it actually helps Donald Trump become the 47th president of the United States.
I understand that Republicans, many of you, disagree on the merits of this case, the strength of it. That's even something we've heard from some legal experts. But when it comes to the underlying conduct here and what's at the heart of this, do you think Trump is innocent?
Well, look, innocence is something that we're going to see. Of course, I believe he's innocent because in our system of justice, unlike what Nancy Pelosi said, you're innocent until proven guilty. But putting that aside, you have a prosecutor who, by the way, is not paying attention to the felonies that are being committed in Manhattan today, yesterday, last week, last month. He has decided he wants to focus on some random FEC quasi-issue that even the FEC did not go after, that the Department of Justice did not go after, and he's using some misdemeanor in New York state law. In my view, Alvin Bragg is outside of his jurisdiction as a prosecutor, number one. And number two, every basic legal analyst, every person who knows the law has said he's created this theory that's never existed. So ask yourself, what Republican or independent or frankly American would not think that this is bogus and it's political?
But do you think it's hard to argue that when we haven't actually seen the indictment yet?
I don't think so. I think it's very easy to argue that. When we see the indictment, obviously it'll be out later today, I think it'll just put more hair on this situation for people to see now the details about how hard he's trying to jump through these legal hoops. But the baseline issues that have already been leaked and been reported on, I probably doubt that they'll go much further away than what we already know. We'll see when the indictment comes. But these initial judgments about the indictment of a former president, when it's not crystal clear in the minds of the American people or the media for that matter, what the actual elements of the situation are, that is why you have high skepticism. And frankly, you have people who are disgusted by what they're seeing from Alvin Bragg and from his DA's office right now.
So just to be clear, is there anything in this indictment, Congressman, that could potentially change your mind of how you are viewing this?
Well, look, I got to see what he's got, but, if this is going to be the layup, if this is going to be the action before the arraignment, I'm not impressed, not at all, especially when Alvin Bragg, he ran on getting Donald Trump. Like, he didn't run on safe streets in Manhattan. He ran on getting the former president. So already his mindset, his political judgment is tainted. To make a move like this makes no sense. It's not very clear, except if you're trying to, be a star, say you're the one that got him, so on and so forth. It's really unfortunate. I know the reporting has been about how historic this is. This isn't historic. This is an infamous day in America.
Well, it is historic just by the nature of it. And to be fair to Alvin Bragg, when it comes to what he was saying when he was running, both of the candidates who are running for the district attorney's spot were asked about how they would handle a potential Trump investigation. He cited his experience with it. You're on the House Oversight Committee. You're chairman of your committee, and along with other Republican chairmen, have sent letters to Alvin Bragg asking for his testimony, something that the counsel for the DA's office here in Manhattan has pushed back on. Did President Trump ask House Republicans to investigate Alvin Bragg?
No, I don't believe so, and I'm not going to speak for the chairman, but to my knowledge, that has not occurred. You have members of Congress who have actually watched the weaponization of various agencies of the federal government, whether you want to talk about the FBI, CDC, etc. We already know that the FBI and CDC have suppressed free speech in the United States at the social media companies. So our concern is that you have elements of these agencies who have been sending information to Alvin Bragg's office, because let's be very clear, you got elements of our agencies who want to get rid of Trump too. Obviously, that's something that was going on with the Mueller probe, etc. So that's our concern. We want to make sure that you don't have aspects of the federal government trying to aid and abet through the back door the political persecution of a former president.
Okay, I should note those are your allegations, and we should note that we have not actually seen the indictment when those requests to Alvin Bragg for his testimony went through. Congressman Byron Donalds of Florida, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.